Contention, critique, conjecture, conclusion.
The Huddle with corporate cars, saving you thousands on luxury European vehicles.
Josie Pagani is back with us. Hi, Josie. Hope you had a
Larry.
good break. And Cameron Slater from Whale Oil is back with us. Hello, Cam.
G'day, Larry.
Josie, issue number one, Auckland Mayor Len Brown is adamant that he's staying in the job. He claims Aucklanders want him to just get on with it. He attended his first public outing yesterday. He faced a few protesters and hecklers. Meanwhile, the serial litigant, this is Graham McCready, has dropped a private prosecution against Mr Brown's wife. What do you see in all of this, Josie?
Yeah, it's a bit like taking Hillary Clinton to court, isn't it, for the fact that her husband's a sleazeball. But no, I think with the Graham McCready thing, we're all getting a bit sick of this, aren't we? He's just constantly doing this, and the point about Len Brown, no matter what you think about what he did, and I don't like it, but it's just a personal sleazy thing that he did. It actually isn't a crime. And so Graham McCready has to prove to a court that a crime was committed. So he's trying to prove that there was some kind of bribe, which would have required Sky City to turn around and go, we're going to give you 3 free hotel rooms if you support the Pokies for Conference Centre deal. Well, first of all, that's incredibly cheap, isn't it? Only 3 hotel rooms. But he has to prove that there was some intent to bribe and that bribe was accepted, and he's not going to do it.
Cam, with the likes of these private prosecutions, let me, McCready in particular, who was a serial litigant, look, I just make this. I think these cases, and I'm not defending Brown. You know that. You know where I come from on Mr. Brown. He shouldn't be there right now. But anyway, I'm amazed that he hadn't thought this through over the holidays. But anyway, that'll come around. But these cases that McCready takes are just ridiculous. It should not happen. We have authorities to take these types of cases if there's any criminality. If McCready wants to take them, he should be prepared to pay up costs if he loses. You've got the likes of banks, for example, and Brown could be in the same position here. It can cost defendants hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend these cases. They can win, and the guy who takes the case in the first place, he doesn't give a stuff because he doesn't have to pay a dime.
Well, no, that's right. And there's a real problem in New Zealand law with vexatious litigants. The law hasn't been updated basically since 1908. And the standard to get someone declared a vexatious litigant is extremely difficult. And you have these people who are essentially using the arms of the state via the courts, and in some instances the police, laying vexatious complaints, etc., to actually bully people into getting what they want. And McCready's admitted, basically, that the reason why he did this in court, so it's you can take it as gospel, that he was doing this so that he could make a job for himself out of suing people.
Yeah, and I think,
that's essentially blackmail, isn't it, Joe?
It is, yeah, and I mean, it's just laughable. He said he was going to struggle to pay the $60 fee for lodging these so-called charging documents, because he has to lodge the documents, and then a judge or the Attorney General has to turn around and go, yep, there's enough evidence here that we think a case should be heard. I doubt that'll happen. I'm sure they'll chuck it out. But he said he couldn't even
defending Len Brown like you, Josie.
But he couldn't even afford the $60. Yeah. He said he only had $20 in his bank account, so it's going to be a bit of a bother for him. So, why does he just not bother?
He's just a ratbag, and he needs to be dealt with. And I'm pleased to see that there are some media outlets that are starting to describe him for what he is, instead of, the fawning of some media where they call him a retired accountant. The guy's a convicted fraudster and blackmailer, and that's how he should be described in anything that's...
And trying to charge the wife who got cheated on has just gone one step too far.
Now, the other issue, Cam, is Mr Brown. He says Aucklanders want him to get on with it. Well, he would say that, wouldn't he? I think
we do. We want him to get on with resigning. The trouble with Len Brown is he's so narcissistic, he won't actually listen to what people are saying.
But Cam, what for? Because, if Len Brown's wife can forgive him, surely you guys should too. I mean, what is it that you think he should go for? Yes, he's been a sleazebag, he's had an affair. He should have declared, the council rules said he should have declared the Sky City rooms, and any hotel room, actually.
Here's the thing with Len Brown, Josie. He has a habit of breaking rules and council rules and guidelines and codes of conduct. And when caught, he makes a goose of himself, slaps himself silly, and then he does a bit of a mea culpa, but I'm really sorry, citizens of the city that I love. I've disappointed you all, and I'm sorry I got caught. It's never I'm sorry for ripping you off for Christmas presents for my family on the credit card. It's never I'm sorry I used my position to get upgrades. It's never anything that's related to his behaviour, and it's all everybody else's fault for the fact that he's a dodgy ratbag.
All right.
And he needs to be held to account for his poor form and behaviour.
Back in a moment, Cameron Slater, Josie Pagani on the Huddle. It's now 16-6.
Larry Williams Drive. With the new ANZ, the bank that gives you more.
14-6 back on the Huddle with Cameron Slater and Josie Pagani. Issue number 2, Josie.com, party tonight is over. He continues to get, I believe anyway, favourable coverage in some media. He's got a few far-left guys jumping on board, which is kind of ironic considering his wealth and how he made it. What do you see in this? Sideshow?
Oh, it's a right-wing libertarian party posing as a revolutionary party. It's like a Russell Brand rant meets Wolf of Wall Street. It's highly entertaining, and I love the tweets on this too. My favourite tweet was asking that perhaps his party list order will be determined by his members' ranking on Call of Duty, which not a bad idea for a party list.
Or how many videos they've uploaded to Mega.
Yeah, or my favourite one, .com is a German word for systematically undermining every politician in New Zealand and making a mockery of New Zealand politics.
Well, he's already undermined the media, and he's got clearly got a few tame ones there. And so now he's setting about undermining the political system. And it's okay and fair enough that he wants to set up a political party, but I'm waiting for Trevor Mallard to come out and talk about foreign bag men and, wanting to pass laws to stop foreigners running political parties and all of the sorts of things that they did in the past.
How could you get Trevor Mallard into a story about .com? That actually deserves a medal. That's really good. But, there is a protest vote out there, but I have, he's avoiding all the boring stuff like having policies on education and health and monetary policy.
Wait till we get the treaty policy from the
treaty policy.
Party.
Yeah, so he's focusing just on sort of fun stuff like spy laws and James Bond.
Well, it's an anti-key, Cam. It's I was saying before, it's an anti-key government, anti-US administration party, basically.
Anti-everything.
Yeah.
Petty revenge. That's why you had Don Brash out there giving him some political advice. It's just petty revenge against John Key. And you've seen some somewhat dim political commentators start talking about the Bob Jones effect. The problem with that analogy is that Bob Jones was dealing with a loathed and despised megalomaniac who was running the country at the time, and John Key's actually the most popular PM we've got.
There is a tradition here of a mad protest vote, and we saw it, I think, last year in Italy in the Italian election, where an Italian comedian called Beppe Grillo won the balance of power. So for an awful moment, the global economy rested in the hands of an Italian comedian.
This is Italy we're talking about. Their army goes backwards faster than the French.
Yeah. Well, how do I put this? Having read the FBI case against him, all 191 pages, which is suppressed in this country, I seriously doubt whether Mr. .com will be in this country come the election.
Orange jumpsuit and stainless steel bracelets.
Yeah, but we keep hearing that, but I've yet to see the evidence. I'm not defending him at all, Larry, but I'm saying that they have to
email it to you, Josie.
It has to be something that's illegal in New Zealand. And
no, it does not. No, that's rubbish. Look.
No, it doesn't.
No, of course not.
It's illegal in the United States. They've asked for him to be extradited. See you later.
All they have to do, Josie, is say, well, we've got a case here. This is the case against him. And, Josie, when you have a look at what's going down here, well, we'll see how Mr. .com
But something like copyright. But something like copyright infringement, that's a civil crime in New Zealand. It's criminal crime in the US. I think you're wrong about that.
No. Well, you just yeah. Well,
I'm not defending him.
I got to go. We can't talk about housing affordability. Haven't got time.
Wages aren't high enough, Larry. Wages aren't high enough.
Right.
Then we could afford any house.
Thank you, Josie. And thank you, Cam Slater and Josie Pagani on the Huddle. We have some sport with Mark Watson in just a moment. It's now 10-6.